it's my birthday. Well, kind of. This is being posted July 18th. My birthday is July 19th, but since it's a Saturday, kind of isn't on what I try to hold myself to posting schedule-wise. But yeah, that means I am gonna be 23. Great. But obviously I want to do a little birthday themed look. So yeah. And like the full-grown adult that I am taking my birthday look inspiration from the Max and Ruby TV show, specifically the episode Bunny Cakes, where they make 2 different cakes. Mine is going to be based off of Ruby's cake, which is pink and with some yellow and like shapes. So I'm going to use gems. Hopefully they'll be able to be seen. But it's going to be a very pink heavy look. So yeah. So to start with the eyes, I'm going to take the Colourpop Cosmetics Fade into Hue palette, and on a large fluffy brush I'm taking some of Lovecraft, which is like a soft pastel pink. This is like one of my favorite pastel pinks I have in my eyeshadow collection. So we're just going to start, and I should have used a different brush for this, but I'm at least going to pat this down and like blend out a little. But yeah, this is wild. Also, you may be thinking, oh my god, you know, this is being posted the 18th. How's your New York trip? At the time of this being filmed, I have not gone to New York yet. It's July 1st as I do this. Ironically enough, it's my aunt's birthday today. But I don't have the time to do my makeup anytime else before leaving for New York. And by the time I get back to New York, I'm just going to work for 3 days straight on my birthday, which, whatever. I don't care, mostly because I don't have any sick time or PTO to put in to take it off, and it's fine. But the day after my birthday, I am going out to lunch with a friend. And yeah, even when I was a kid and I didn't do birthdays a lot. Like, I can't tell you the last time I had a birthday party. Maybe I was 10 to 12, which is fine, whatever. I really don't care. It's not me just saying that so I can get like sympathy. I don't care. I'm not a party person. It's just not my thing. And it's fine. It is fine. And I'm going to take some of the Blend Bunny Cosmetic Blends palette, and on the same brush, I'm just taking some of the shades Sunsets, and I'm just going to kind of like reinforce it a little. But no, I'm going to lunch on the 20th. Hopefully, my friend and I, we've been before. We went for my 21st birthday. The drinks there are so strong, and like she said it herself, and like she did college parties, so she was like not like a drinker, but like it wasn't like me who, you know, it was my legitimately like first full drink, 3rd to 6th sip of alcohol total. I wasn't an underage drinker, so if she said it was strong, it was strong. But we're gonna go there. There's an ice cream place nearby that we really like too. Again, simple, especially because I am working. It's Saturday, but it's fine. I do need to place my Sephora and Ultra birthday orders though, and the Ultra gifts are really good this month, so I really need to place an order. And as much as I don't want to break out a 3rd palette, the yellows in those 2 palettes aren't quite right. And I know you are probably very, very tired of me doing the color in the brow bone, but the cake does have, it's mainly pink, but it does have yellow piping. So I'm going to take the Fade into Hue palette from Colourpop, and I'm just going to take the shade Elephant. And I'm going to put that right up on my brow bone. The shades in the Fade into Hue palette are way too vibrant. And then the one light color in the Blend Bunny palette is like, not chartreuse, but it's a weird tone, and it's just not what I want in life. So I'm going to put some here, and I'm also going to put some a little like right here. So there's a little more than just the brow. But no, I used to love Max and Ruby when I was a kid. So I was talking with my friend about it like when I say months ago. Because I'm like, you know, obviously I always want to do like a birthday specific look. I was like, ooh, Max and Ruby. So I had to go through the process of trying to find properly shaped gems for this. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to work very well. Just because of how small they are, so I don't know how well they're going to show up on camera, but every time I say this, it turns out better than I think it's going to, so fingers crossed here. And on a little round detail brush, I'm going to take some of the shade Dream Girl and some of Cola from the Fade Into Hue palette. I'm just going to do like my little smudge. And you may be thinking, hey, you look kind of weird. Not like weird, but like something's missing. I don't have a headband on because my bangs were very finicky this morning and they looked relatively okay, but if I put them in under a headband, they would have been shaped weird, so I have clips up above. So hopefully that will help a little better than the headband would. It's all gonna be decided with the flip of a coin look-wise. And then I'm going in with just some of Dream Girl to smoke it out a little. Not like smoke it out, but like blend it out. And I'm keeping the eye relatively simple. I might put some shimmer like here if there's space once I do highlighter, because I have a plan for that. But again, I'm gonna be covering my eye with gems in a few minutes, so I want relative simpleness for it. And now I have a varying amount of gems. I have little stars, I have some miscellaneous shapes, and then I also have some hearts. So, like I said, fingers crossed that you'll be able to see them, otherwise this is going to be stupid and I'm going to have to refilm something quickly sometime next week. Alright, so I'm going to just do a bunch of dots with some lash glue. I do have some of the gems set aside on the back of a flat-edged surface. I'm trying not to put any like on my crease, just because obviously then my lids are going to stick together and that's not going to be great. So I'm going to take a dark blue star and I'm just gonna stick it on there. Wild, I know. And then I have a dark green heart and I'm gonna do that right there as well. And then I'm gonna stick a purple one, and we should have done some of this after my foundations, but it's fine. It's fine. I have a nice little, like not clear, but like more iridescent star, and I'm gonna place that right there. And then I have a little green, just like rhinestone, just regular rhinestone, and I'm gonna stick that hopefully there. Is that glue? Yes, fantastic. Like I said, I have a bag and it's just like a bunch of assorted shapes and colors, so hoping for the best here, kids. And I'm just gonna do a few more dots on this eye of lash glue, just because it's looking a little scarce. Like I said, realistically I would want something here, but my lashes are gonna cover that anyway, so it's okay. And then I have a dark blue. Actually, I'm not going to take the dark blue. I have like a citrine kind of tone, and I'm going to place that, ooh, right. And then one last dot, and it's going to go right here. And that's one eye all complete. Sorry, I got a notification on my phone. Ooh, I cannot feel my foot. But it's kind of self-explanatory. I'm going to do more on the side, just kind of need to concentrate and focus. But I'm gonna finish this eye and put on some lashes, and I will be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back with some lashes on. I did finish my gems and I added a little more here, but let's move on to the base. I'm gonna go in with the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. I'm not going too heavy-handed on them because my skin is a little sweaty, so it is a little, you know, not moist, but like, you know. And I also have a hydrating foundation to use, so I am gonna need to set after this, which isn't my favorite, but it's the price I pay. And then I'm gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Glow Serum in the shade Main Squeeze. Again, not a lot of this, just for like that little glow, if you will. And I had to reschedule my nail appointment for next week because my father's getting a colonoscopy, so he can't drive home after it. And I don't have a car, so I have to take a lift to the hospital, and then we have to take a lift home. And that's just stupid. But his appointment's at 10:30, and my nail appointment was supposed to be for 12:30, and I couldn't reschedule it for earlier in the day, so I just rescheduled it for a different day entirely, so. And I'm gonna give it a shake, but this is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Soft Lit Luminous Foundation in the shade 125? 125? Yeah. Again, not a lot. I'm gonna go in very, very thin layers for this. And I'm also gonna kind of work it into the back of my hand to work it into the brush. Oh, and I had a bunch, not to be gross, but I had a bunch of like dry skin in like the curve of my ear, and I don't know what happened. Because at first I'm like, oh, maybe it's the remnants of a sunburn. But that would mean I'd have to be outside enough to see the sun. And I've been working most days, every day. So, not really, can't really get a burn from not seeing the sun. So, I don't know. I've put a bunch of moisturizer on it the past few days, and it feels really weird. I do not recommend putting lotion in your ears, but it's better now. Again, don't know what happened. Oh, and I did buy myself new glasses because I have one pair that I primarily wear, and I've realized that the other pairs I have don't look good on my face shape. So I just ordered 2 new pairs of the same style that I have, just one is in the same color, one is just in black. So I did pay expedited shipping, so I don't think it's gonna get here before I leave. With my luck, it's gonna get delivered the day of my trip starting, so the Sunday or probably the Monday. So again, that's how my luck would work. And then I'm gonna take the Haus Labs Trichlone Skin Tech Concealer in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. Is this 01? Yeah. And just gonna I know, conceal. But I feel really bad about calling out. Technically, it was yesterday at the time of filming this, but at the time of this being posted, it would have been June 30th, so 2 weeks ago. I had a mental breakdown on the truck, in case you have not been caught up. And I'm like, I need time to rest. So, when I see my manager, I'm gonna, again, apologize. Be like, hey, I'm sorry. Even though it wasn't a last minute thing, she had 15 hours to get coverage. But I'm gonna offer to open Saturday for her to make it up, especially because I don't think my company lets me put in more than 40 hours of sick time in a year, and I think that's kind of ridiculous. Because I didn't have enough for the full day, which, whatever, I've got money, I'm good. But it was like, oh, hey, you can't submit any more than 40 hours in 1 minute, and I'm like, I'm submitting for 4 hours. She said she was going to look into it. Last time she did somehow manage to get 8 hours onto my paycheck, so we'll see what happens next week when I get paid. And I'm going to take some of the LYS No Limits Cream Bronzer Stick in the shade Hope. I'm going to take a little onto the back of my hand because I don't want to go too heavy-handed with this, because this can spread because it's very It's very blendable, which is nice, but sometimes I want a little more focus and precision. And I'm surprisingly getting paid from the truck. Not surprisingly. I knew I was going to get paid from Friday. I didn't realize my mother was going to process my pay for Sunday. So very grateful. I mean, it was $40 for the day, basically, between tips and hourly rate, because I get paid minimum wage because I'm a child and I don't count. But that's fine. So I'm getting a nice fat check on the 4th of July at the time of this being posted. So I'm getting 3 weeks of paychecks, so. And then this is going to be a process, so we'll see how this goes. First, I'm going to take some of the Huda Beauty blush filter in the shade Bubblegum, and I'm going to just keep it here. But I am thinking of, I know I've said it before, currently I'm still thinking about getting Death Becomes Her ticket for Tuesday night, the 15th, because I really love that musical. I really love that movie. I just need to find a decently priced ticket to buy. And there's not a lot of them that are a decent seat. I've also been looking at the View My Seat website, so we're just gonna blend this out. Like I said, it's a very pink focused look today. Ow, I just stabbed myself with my nail on my face as I'm blending this. But I'm also really excited about my birthday nails because I'm doing the little celestial design that I love, because it's my favorite. You can't stop me. And then this is from Patrick Ta. This is the Double Take Cream and Powder Blush in the shade She's That Girl. So I fit pan. There's also a little bit of like lint in there, not to be gross, but the cream sticks to a lot of things. So I'm gonna focus that like right here. And after I set my face, I will probably top this with a powder blush. Oh yeah, that is looking good. The lip isn't going to be as pink as the blush and the eyes are, but that's okay. It's not my main concern. Follow me. I am taking the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. Oof. I'm now covered in white powder. This is the shade Sugar Cookie. It's just translucent. But the fan is, you know, making things blow. So this is just a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to set my face. And just, I'm going to go back in with powder blush to reinforce things. So it's fine. Again, just literally everywhere. And I'm not going to worry too much about my under eyes because I do have a plan for that. And then this is my poor, beloved, discontinued Jaclyn Cosmetics powder. This was the Face It All Correct and Trust powder in the shade Correct and Fair. It has the very faintest pink tone to it in real life, and it's the only brightening powder that's light enough for me. This is also more sheer than it looks, but it's just a perfect addition. And I'm just going to focus that under the eyes for a little something something. And then this is from NABLA. This is the Close Up Blur and Powder Blush in the shade Petite. It's just kind of like a light baby pink. So I'm going to focus this here. And then I'm going to go in with the Patrick Ta blush, the powder side, and just kind of do that. Then with a slightly denser brush, I'm going to take the Patrick Ta powder and just kind of reinforce up here. I'm also just going to kind of use the sand brush to kind of help with the blush that's going on. There we go. Much better. Last Colourpop palette, I promise. This is the Flirty Talk palette. This was a Valentine's palette from a few years ago. But I'm going to use the shade Be Mine as like kind of a chunky pink highlighter because I don't have any good pink highlighters. So we're gonna do this instead. Like it's like a glitter consistency, so it's not going to be like super smooth, which is fine. It's legitimately what I want. I have been playing around with blush and highlighter combination. Highlighter. Any pink shadows I have. I've been playing around with them for the past like week or two to see what I have, and this was the best option. Because I have my Kaleidos highlighter, but that's not so like pink. This is pink. And she also looks stunning. Alright, now with a very light hand, I'm going to go in with the MAC lip liner in the shade Cool Spice. I didn't want something too warm toned to like take away from all this. I'm gonna blend this out because I am just, besides the fact that I always do it, I am just using gloss today, so I don't want any harsh edges. I'm sorry, I should embrace my inner Bostonian and go hash edges. No. Ooh, that's not even. I'm gonna take this from NYX Professional Makeup. This is the Slick Click Fat Oil, or Fat Oil Slick Click. It's one of the clicky lip balms. This is in the shade Main Character. I don't really like this formula, but it's sheer and it has kind of pink iridescent sparkles, so I can say this is a little better now that it's warm and kind of melted. Who would have thought? And I was going to add a regular clear gloss on top of this for some extra shine, but I'm actually really liking how this turned out. I need to go deal with my bangs, but I will see you in a second. Alright, and this is officially my finished birthday look. I love how this turned out. Like I said, I can't tell if you can tell the shapes of these on the camera, and I can't tell if you can tell because A, don't have my glasses on, B, I know I've said this before, but there's a light right behind the flip screen of the camera, so I really can't see what's on the screen half the time, besides like if I'm in focus or not. But yeah, I love how this turned out. And it's the lip. That lip looks so nice. And I'm just, I don't know, but yeah. I have one more look pre-filmed right now that will go up the following Tuesday, but after that one it will be more up to date and I can update you guys on what happened in New York. I mean, it's not going to be like anything wild happened, but you know, I can at least talk about it. And yeah, like I said, this is my finished birthday look. Happy birthday to me, I guess.